Magical Scorpions, welcome to the Conjurer's Table. Just kidding, rewind. Let's try that again. Hi, my Magical Scorpions, welcome to Crossed Paths. That's going to take a while to get used to. But yeah, so as you can tell by the title of this series is I'm going to be starting a Grimoire series for those of you who want to learn a little bit more on how to make your own grimoire / book of shadows, but not really quite sure on like where to start or kind of like where you where you start, and more of like where can you find inspiration? Because a lot of the time I see a lot of people that are like, oh my god, they're so excited to start their own grimoire book of shadows, but they're like, I have no idea where to start. I don't really know what I should do. A lot of people are getting like creativity blocks. So you know what, guys? I am going to start a series showing you how I do my grimoire that I have already started the past few days, which is why there hasn't been much YouTube activity from me in a while. So if you guys want to learn more about how to create your own grimoire, keep on watching, everybody. And we're back. Oh, I love that intro that I created. I know that's kind of, but anyways. Hi, Steven. Hi, Opal. Welcome, you guys. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, Gerald. Welcome. I'm leaving. Okay. That's nice. Anyways, moving on. So a lot of the time people are like, okay, where do I start with making a grimoire? And for me, I actually started first. You have to pick out a book on what you're going to use. So this is what I'm going to be using to make my grimoire. It is a simple little book that I got from Michael's. And the next step is to just start researching photos that you want to put in your book. And then I also pulled from YouTube on just inspiration to make certain inserts and a lot of different things to put in my grimoire. And hold on one second, guys. Anyways, where was I going? So YouTube, I pulled inspiration. Pinterest, I looked up a lot of pictures. And then from YouTube, I was just watching different things. Like people were creating inserts for their book of shadows. They were creating tags. They were creating a lot of different things to put in their grimoire. So I was like, okay, so how do I want my grimoire or book of shadows to look? Because that's the biggest thing for people is they have so many different ideas that they're not really sure where to start. So I started by creating a theme for my grimoire / book of shadows. And I'm just going to call it grimoire for the rest of this video because that's kind of what I call it anyways. So what I pulled from Pinterest were a lot of different pictures that I really liked. And then I kind of pulled from those different pictures and realized, okay, I kind of see a theme developing here. So obviously my grimoire that I'm creating is going to be very dark. So within that, it's going to be kind of like creepy vintage meets newspaper. Actually, that's a horrible newspaper picture. For example, newspaper meets hold on, I'm just going through my stuff here. So as you can tell, some of the stuff that I found are like really dark looking things. So it's going to be kind of like Poe meets darkness meets herbs meets London meets tarot. I know that's like a lot of things to put into a journal, but I think that's what really, really helps is because for me, I would rather have too many ideas to put in my book than not have enough and then all of a sudden get through like the first few pages and then be like, well, I just did 3 pages and now I'm stuck and I have no idea what else I even want to add in this. So hold on, I just dropped some stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys a little bit about what I did. So I started off, the first thing you really obviously want to do, other than finding photos at first, is obviously you get your book. Next step is aging your pages. And I'm just going to show you the first few pages of mine because you kind of see the progress of when I got my ink that I use to age my pages throughout the process of, okay, now it actually looks like aged pages. But first, let me just go into the chat here. Hi, Frugal Dreams. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for doing this. I'm just starting mine. It's so perfect timing. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Hi, Dana. Hi, Walking My Path. So I'm just going to flip through the first few pages that I've already done, and you can kind of see the progress of aging my pages. So this first 2 pages was me trying to figure out how the hell the inks work, and I'll show you what inks I use to age my pages. And then second page, I was like, okay, well, I kind of get it. Once you splatter it on there, it doesn't really move. And then the second page, I started to get into it more and more. And then later on, as I progressed, you kind of start to see, oh, now it's looking more aged and more like an actual, like, cool thing. This page actually is cool. It looks kind of like a butterfly / angel / Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars. If you see, like, here's his eyes. Oh, where's his eye? Eye, snout, and then, like, his little mouth right here. Jar Jar Binks. And then, yeah, as I started to go further on, figuring out how the inks worked, my pages started to look more and more aged. So it's kind of fun to see, like, your progress from when you're trying to figure out how to age your pages to, okay, now I actually figure it out. So there are different methods to aging your book. So, for example, what I did in the past was I've used the either coffee or tea method, where you obviously make some coffee, a cup of coffee, obviously take out the grinds, make some tea, take out the tea bag, and then take a brush and just paint on your pages with the tea or the coffee. And obviously you could either just let it dry. I would suggest doing a few pages at a time versus multiple ones, because then they'll end up sticking together. So what I actually used was a blow dryer to speed up that process. And geez, I have so many things I need to talk about that I'm like losing track. So I used a blow dryer to speed up that process. I got this tiny little Conair blow dryer, which is over there. I forgot to grab it, but it's super easy. Doesn't have a cold shot, but has 2 different speeds to help speed up the process of drying your pages. So, but this time I actually did not use the tea or coffee method, you guys. I actually used spray ink. So I went to Michael's, or where are the, well, these can be bought at Joann's or Michael's, and it is Distress. So this is the Distress ink. Where am I? Right here. So this is the process of how I ink the pages. So what I did was I sprayed it with the lighter one, which this one is Antique Linen, first all over the page to kind of get a little bit wet. Then I sprayed a little bit of the Vintage Photo. Ooh, where am I? Right here. So this is the Vintage Photo, which creates a darker one. And don't be scared, guys, because at first when I was spraying them both, they looked super dark on the page, and I actually panicked at first because I was like, oh my God, it's going to be so dark. But as it dries, as you can tell, it actually dries a lot lighter than what you spray at first. So then what I did was, after I sprayed the 2 on there, I then took a simple little sponge, which I found at Michael's, and I just kind of chopped it into half. I don't know where the other one went, but it created 2 little squares. And I just went around, kind of dabbed the page, which caused all the ink to kind of like blend a little bit. Hence how it comes out like this. So the entire page that you see is the lighter color, but then the little dots of darkness is the Vintage Photo. So this is your first step to creating your grimoire. And obviously I have like 1,000 pages to still do. But I think because I forgot that for what is this called? StreamYard that I have to use my laptop. So I'm actually going to do a separate video, guys, showing you how I aged my pages. So I will have to do that in a different video because I forgot that I can't use my camera to like move it around and then show you from a bird's eye view. So once I am finished with this, then I can start inserting all the cool things that I found, which I'm going to show you right now. So let's just kind of get into it. So I was at Staples the other day because I was looking for a paper cutter and a what's the thing called? Scoreboard. It's where you like create lines in a piece of paper. But I found these awesome kind of like gold huge paper clips. So I'm actually going to use these for page inserts if I find something cool. So for example, one thing I printed out that I'm going to be putting in my grimoire are these cool kind of like newspaper articles that I found. So there's one. Here's another. And what I love about it is that it's vintage looking and very aged and it has like splatters on it. So it will actually go really, really well with my grimoire and the aged pages that I've been creating. So like here's another one. And then here's another. And I like how each page I print out are like kind of a little bit different from each other. Like some are a lot more pronounced, some are a lot more faded. And what's cool is because with this, you can then, if you wanted to, fold it and then kind of like put it in your grimoire. So then when you like take it out, you're like, oh, there's a page of something. So that could be created like a insert. I know, right? Not Simon, Steven, they're like huge paper clips. But that's awesome though. And then I also, let's keep these on the side for a minute. I'm just going to go through some of the inserts that I'm going to be putting in my grimoire. So obviously, because I said earlier, it's going to be kind of like a London kind of vibe, vintage. So I found these awesome photos of like light bulbs and kind of like a 20s or whatever era this is from. That's clearly not from the 20s, but you get what I'm saying. So I kind of found these. Oh, and I will talk to you guys about what I print on as well. Because certain things like the newspaper articles that I printed out are on regular sheet of paper. But these I actually printed out on cover stock photo. And I'll show you in a minute what I mean by cover stock. Hi, Patty Pat. So yeah, I just found these awesome little things as inserts somewhere on my book. I'll either glue them in separately, or I've been creating like little envelopes and little things to stick and tuck things in. Hi, Butterfly. And then, so here's to go into the darker, creepier stuff that I'm going to be putting in my grimoire. So obviously right here, I have a photo of this creepy woman and creepy couple. Oh, come on. And then like some vintage photos of witches. Vintage creepy woman. So what I mean by cover stock, and so I was looking it up because I was like, okay, I want something a little bit thicker than paper, but not too thick that it won't print out in my printer. So what I first used, you guys, was cardstock. And then when I printed out my first page, everything printed out normal. And then I started printing things out. And then I was noticing that it would start like halfway down the page and then start printing. And then everything was just, who the heck is Pop Scorpion? It's me, Lucian Butterfly. I can tell you haven't been on a while. So, where was I? Okay, so cardstock was actually too thick. So then I researched a little bit and then found that cover stock was a lot easier to print with. Hence, printing out things that were a lot easier, actually fit the page, didn't cut off the photo I was trying to print. But here's the difference. So here is a regular piece of paper. You can see how flimsy and like, ooh, okay, it moves. Here is cover stock. Cover stock is still like flimsy, but it's a lot more sturdier than if you're using regular paper. But it won't get caught in your printer and like freaking print halfway down the image. So I found that cover stock was a lot easier to print, and it allowed me to create awesome things like this. So I printed out this. I created like a little envelope for my grimoire. Let me just kind of show it to you. So this is using the cover stock. So you can see it's a lot more sturdier than regular paper. You can fold it a lot easier, and this won't be too heavy in your grimoire. And then obviously, if you go in my little letter I created, I have this little thing for the recipe of the 4 Thieves vinegar. 1 quart of red wine, balsamic vinegar, 6 cloves of garlic, 4 teaspoons of red pepper flakes, 4 teaspoons of rosemary, wormwood, and hyssop. Place in a cool, dark place for 7 days to a month. You're welcome. That'll cost y'all $75 for that knowledge. No, I'm just kidding. So this is a little envelope I made for my grimoire. I made a couple different variations. So like here's another one that I created, well, printed out rather, and then made. What is in here? Oh, and then obviously it has a little letter insert. That's pretty cool. As you can see, you can kind of see like the cursive on the letter. So I just kind of decided to create some fun little things to put in the grimoire's inserts that are like interesting and makes a little bit more less boring, versus in the past when I used to make grimoires and I would literally just write words in it and then post a photo. It's like, okay, well, that's a little bit boring. Let's make it a little bit more upscale than that. Not saying that just printing and like putting a photo isn't upscale, but. And then I created a folder. Ooh. And then in the folder, I just have some more letters that I folded out. So for example, this one folds out this way. It's kind of the same thing, except going up and down. And then that one is another one that folds out. And you guys, it's so much fun. Like this whole process of creating this grimoire has been a lot of fun. I cannot wait to actually start pasting everything in here and writing. So for example, so here are 2 letters that I printed out. Just kidding. Wait a minute. Confusion. Oh, here we go. 2 letters that I printed out. So the way that this is going to go is one's going to go on one page of the book, one's going to go on the other, so that when you open it, come on now, one will open out this way, and then the other one will open up. Where's the other side? Oh, the other way. So it kind of goes like that. Ooh, where's the... So it'll be kind of like one of those, oh, okay, you fold it open. Acid-free glue, yes. Debbie, since you are here, because that was another thing why I love the Distress ink is because, guys, this spray stain that I've been using to stain my pages and make them more kind of vintage looking is they are both acid-free, and there was something else I forgot. I thought I saw it on here. I guess acid-free and non-toxic. So in case you accidentally ingest it, I mean, like, why would you ingest, like... No, just kidding. Like, but seriously, why would you want to ingest that? Jeez. Hi, Simon. Debbie. Quick question for you. Since you suggested to use acid-free glue, where do you get... Well, actually, that's a dumb question. Probably the same place where I got all my other tools. Probably from... If they don't have acid-free glue at Michael's, I'll probably just go to Joann's. So, I mean, I just answered my own question. Thank you, Debbie. So here's just some more other inserts that I kind of cut up and printed out. So obviously I can write some words on here, kind of like what I did with some other stuff that I did before. Let's see what else is in here. So here's like another card for an insert somewhere on Kufwa dust, aka crap, what's it called? Well, I forgot the name of this dust, but yeah, here's the ingredients. So I did that. Oh, why is that still on? Hi, Simon. Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna scroll up for a second because I saw something. Butterfly. Papa Squirrel is actually Brian. I'm Papa Scorpion. And then, of course, we have Papa Duck up in here. Simon, holla. Okay. So I'm just going to go through some more of these inserts that I found. So I have vintage looking kind of note card. I have these cool little cards. So you can kind of see my theme is very vintage horror, kind of like. So I have a postcard, and some of these are fun because like you can take something like this and even write on it. So for this one, a postcard, I might, who knows, like write a poem or something on it. So here's another vintage looking card. And then I printed out some of these on a cover stock photo. I'm going to turn this down a bit. Hold on. It's a bit bright. There we go. You can see it better. When did you become Papa Scorpion? A while back, Simon. That's just how long it's been. What is this? Oh, that's just slightly faded, but you can't see it because it's that faded. And I have some going the other way. Kufa dust. Crap. So, and then some of them just kind of printed out that were like, I don't know, cooking recipes, but still looks cool because of the font. And I created tinier little tags. Well, these were originally supposed to be tags that I was going to create, but then I was like, you know what? Some of them I want to actually just keep because as they are and didn't want to punch a hole in them. So I'll just show you a few more. But it's just cool to have all these different kinds of options of cards that you can put in your Grimoire, guys. Hi, Jennifer Ball. Well, thanks, Pat. That makes me feel great. And then for my Grimoire, I've also been making these little tags. So obviously I've been kind of alternating different kinds of thread and string for them. Come on. So we have, here's the Poe-ish kind of like vibe that I was going for as well. Let me find some more of them before I show these. Where are they? They're all down here. And then here's like the London kind of vibe. And I printed out, oh, that's just a regular blank tag for writing on. But like, here's a Poe one. Come on, camera. There we go. And then I have like tinier itty bitty tags, larger tags, just a bunch of tags that are like different sizes and have a lot of different things on them. So I can go through and then later on figure out like which ones I actually want to put in my Grimoire. Because as I said earlier, I would rather have like a million than than have like too little to put in there. And then also along with the cards, the tags that I've been making, oh, actually, I even made some tinier little envelopes I forgot to show. So here's just a tiny one that's on the back. Is there anything actually in here? Oh yeah. So it just says it just says toilet, shaving, and laundry soaps. But this just fits perfectly right inside this little envelope. I might find something else to put inside it besides like toiletries, but and like here's another, oh, what is this? Oh, here we go. So here's one little folder I created. So that's one side. Here's the other. Flip it open. You got a little menu card, and then you get a little, no idea what that is, but it's a fun little card. So it just pops up. And what's also fun about these little insert cards, guys, even though it's printed on one side, you can write something on the back of it if you want. So there's the little folder. And then I have this little kind of pull-out tag. Jeez, Why is this like so not bright? Too bright, too bright. There we go. And then you just pull it out this way. Oh, look, it has Poe. And then on the back, I wrote Proflow and Halo, which basically means breathe and exhale. And that is actually going to go part of my title on the very first page. Because, okay. So let me show you what the first page is going to look like. So here's my book that I showed earlier. Flip it open. You have that hideous first 2 pages of me trying to figure out how the hell the inks even work. So what I'm actually going to do is, where is it? Take this photo. Oh, that's probably way too big. Put it on the first page here. And then in the center of it, or somewhere on that page, put that little insert tag. So it's like, ooh, welcome. You have something to pull out. That's always fun because everyone loves like little tags to pull out and like little compartments in their grimoire, which makes it a lot of fun. Okay, sorry guys if I'm jumping around like all over the place. So I'm just going to... Hi, let's try that again. So I'm just going to show you guys... Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So I want to show you this really cool one. Besides, so I made a couple more different size folder things. Where's that one folder I want to show you? Oh, here it is. So this is my favorite one, you guys, that I created. So you have this on both sides. It's held together by a tiny, tiny little black pin that I got from Michael's. But you open it up, and it's kind of like accordion style, where you have 2 different tags on the outside, and then on the inside here, it has those. So this is probably one of my favorite ones of all the different little kind of tag or folder things that I made. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some of the photos that I'm putting in my grimoire so you get a better idea of like the theme. So here's some of the photos that I'm going to be using. So a lot of the photos that I'm using are going to be kind of dark, creepy, mysterious, with a lot of vintage and a lot of color pop. So what I mean by color pop is a lot of it will be like, see this whole black and white here, but then it's like the pop of red, or it's all dark, monotony kind of looking with the pops of gold. And then obviously the little like newspaper guy. And then when I talk about darker, obviously we have this one. And then we have these photos that are very dark and creepy. And you're like, what the what? But that's what I just love. And then, oh, I also forgot, I'm going to be adding kind of like a herbal component to it. So I printed out a lot of like cool little floral inserts. That's harder. Oh, there we go. I was going to say it's hard to see that. So I have like a lot of different pages of floral inserts that I will figure it out as I go. Either I'm going to keep them as this, and either some of them you can use as tags, just put a little hole puncher right, like, where is it, in the center here, create a tag, or you can use it as a regular insert right on the back of it, or you could even create it thinner and make it actually part of the page as like the background. And then just some more of the floral inserts. So much fun. So many ideas. But yep, those are all the floral things. And then something else I also found that was really cool was a stack of paper that I got at Joann's. And it's the Midnight Chick stack. So it's 180 sheets of printed paper, acid-free. So it kind of has like, ooh, look at this. All these cool little pages in it. And I like how there's like multiple ones of the same thing. So in case you liked one page and like, oh, well, there's a few more in case you mess up once. But what I like about this is you can use this to create like your edges. You can use it to create a background. You could cut out some of the flowers or something to create a different design within your book of shadows. So it just comes with like a million different pages in here that are super awesome. Whee! So I like it because it's going to fit real perfect with like my black and white photos, pops of color with like the vintage feel. So, how long have we been going for? Oh, 30 minutes, just like I said. Um, yeah, so that is what I've been doing so far. That's why I've been very kind of like social media breakage, is because I decided to kind of really get going on my Book of Shadows and get it started. And just, I kind of went full force into it, as you can tell. So, first step of everything is I just got to finish aging all the pages before I can start putting everything in it. And oh my God, this process is taking forever, you guys, but it's like going to be so worth it in the end. And I will then show you guys, once I finished aging all the pages, I will then do more of the series, showing you how I'm putting everything together so you can kind of see my creative mind at work. And hold on, let me scroll up here because it's been like 1,000 years since I've even looked at this chat. Hello, Donna, Patty Pat, Butterfly, Maya, Isis Mommy. Who else is here? Debbie, Walk My Path, I saw earlier. Simon, I said hello. Do we get to see your grimoire? Actually, Butterfly, I showed it at the very, very beginning of what the grimoire itself looks like. As I said earlier, it's just right now in the beginning stages. It's just a regular plain book with my my aged pages. That's the wrong way. So these are like the aged pages that I've been working on. And in the beginning of the video, I even talked a little bit about how I age that. But I also talked about, in a separate video, I will create a video showing you guys how I age my pages, because I didn't do the standard method of using tea or coffee like a lot of people do. So, does anyone have NT questions? NT? What's NT? Does anyone have any NT questions? Let's see here. Tear it down and ink edges. It will be fabulous. The one side looks like you were going for a creepy oh my gosh, Fatty Fat. It is. It's going to be a really weird book. I will tell you that. But I'm so excited for how bizarre and creepy this book is going to turn out. Let's scroll up. How are you binding your books? So guys, oh yeah, as you just saw before, I'm not actually like binding this. I will actually decorate like the outside cover of the book. So I'm going to get something for the spine, and then I'm going to get something for either side of the book. Haven't really decided yet. The last time I created a book, I used black fur on the outside, and then I had like this cool like design thingy for the spine. I think I might do that again because I really liked how that looked. And then what I'm going to do to hold everything together, because I know once I put everything in, the book's going to become like that big probably, is I'm going to glue keys on either side of the book. Make sure that the like the little part that you turn the key is on the outside, so that you can put string through it and then tie it together. So that's how I did. That's what I did with one of my grimoires. I know I've made so many that I actually haven't finished, but this I am actually gonna finish for once. Um. Sorry for the awkward silence, guys. I'm just like scrolling up through the questions. Okay. Shauna wants to know if you're still using the one Tangy made you. I am. I put that one aside for now just because I want to create one myself and just kind of go from there. That one's massive. So I'm definitely using that, but I'm using that a little bit differently than the one I'm going to be creating. So I'm going to be kind of like having two different ones. So the one that I'm using for Tanges, that one is going to be more for like, actually, I don't know what I'm going with that one. Because that one's more of like an herbal theme. This one is like a completely different theme from what I'm creating here. Oh, hi, Ravenheart. How are you? Sorry, I didn't see a slip in there. I've always wanted a dragon book with scales. Gesso and Filmo looks awesome on it. Adds tons of texture to the cover. Yes, it does, Kendra. Actually, that's a really good idea. Who knows? I might actually do that. Okay. I guess no one has any questions. So, yeah, guys, that is the process of what I've done so far over the past, like, I think it's been a week since I've been on actual Facebook. I mean, I do pop in here and there, but it's like literally just to post something and then I'm out again working on my grimoire. But, yeah, so I'm going to, as quickly as I can, finish aging these pages, and I will then show you more of the step-by-step process of everything I'm doing with the grimoire. So I just want to thank you all for being in here today, and I will catch you guys later. Sorry, Dave and I have been taking a little bit of a social media break, which is why we haven't really been on that much over the past week. We're going to try and get back on a little bit more than we were. But yeah, so I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I definitely have been enjoying this creative process. And I will talk to you guys. What day is it? Geez, what day is it? It's Tuesday today, right? So tomorrow, I'm going to see if Dave's going to be popping on for his Wednesday night readings. So that will be going on Wednesday. I will be coming back on again Thursday for the continuation of the tarot symbolism on Thursdays. And then we're just going to go from there and see what happens. So, love you all. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone. Make sure to hit the like button and check out our Facebook page to join. It's, oh, that's awkward. Just kidding. Wrong one. It's this one. It's not. Yeah, I changed the name. So, yeah. Check out our Facebook page if you guys haven't. Make sure to like and subscribe this channel if you haven't. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.